Well, I started with CPPS and all the stuff that I learned from Joe DeFranco and James Smith, kind of like a precursor to this body tempering. And I just happened to have stumbled upon it online because I used to powerlift myself way back, so many years ago, and it just kind of piqued my interest. So I started doing some research on it, and up to today. Saw that there was an opportunity there because there was no body tempering in the area, and Donnie was working with a lot of athletic departments and different universities and colleges down in the South.
Hey guys, this is Ben Bredesen here with Coach Tank and Coach Rowe. Welcome to the Michigan Weight Room. Over here we got Kenny Ferris. He's working on the tempering stations right now. So there's 3 different weighted rollers and a mat here. Coach Rowe can take you into the details, but this is what we do pre-practice. So you'll get in there like Kenny's doing. You'll roll your quads. You can get every muscle in your body. It gets all the knots out. Makes you feel incredible right before practice.
So right here what Kenny's doing is called body tempering. Right here we have the rollers. There's 3 different weights. Actually, Kenny has graduated to the big dog. We got the big dog on Kenny's quad going. He works all the way down. Body tempering, a way to release tension all the way down to the bone.
Body tempering basically is strength training 101. So what it does is it takes an amount of weight, and what it does is it makes hypertonic tissue, which is tissue under abnormal pressure, to just kind of relax. It makes your fascia relax. It doesn't stretch it because fascia basically cannot be stretched. It's like steel, basically. And if we didn't have fascia within our body, we would just fall onto the ground like a big lump of water.
What is fascia?
Fascia is what encompasses all of our muscles. It gives us form. It keeps our muscles where they belong. It's very, very strong. It's very, very durable. But when it doesn't want to cooperate and it doesn't want to work well, it kind of hurts. So body tempering kind of just cools it out, if you want to call it like that, and it just kind of makes it more pliable. It won't stretch it. It won't bend it. It doesn't manipulate it in any way. The only way it does is it kind of just makes it relax. So basically what we're doing is just like what I said, we're basically diffusing the tissue. And what the tools do with the weight itself is the weight does mostly all the work, and all I do is kind of move it around. So what we're just trying to take the pressure off the lower back, which in the sacral region, or the QL, which a lot of people don't read about, which is like looks like a spider web of muscle that come from the bottom ribs and attach to the top of your iliac crest or your butt. And these things, sometimes when they become so tight, they pull on each other. So you have 2 ends pulling on each other. So that's where there's a lot of pain. The ankle joint itself is the most loaded joint in the body. It takes all your body weight all day long. If you sprain your wrist, you don't want anybody touching it. You sprain your ankle, you're walking in a couple of minutes. So that's how resilient that joint is. So with the floss bands and and the resistance bands, what I use is I get distraction in the ankle joint. So I get the talus bone, I get the tibia, and I get the to kind of like extend, kind of separate, so you can get that movement back in there. Because a lot of times what happens, the talus bone slides forward, and that's where you get a lot of your impingement. And if they have like an eversion sprain where they turn their ankle, quick compression gets that inflammation out of there. Instead of just sitting there, just putting ice on it or putting tape on it, you put some of that floss band stuff on there. You can put a hell of a lot of pressure on there, and it dissipates a lot of the inflammation. The lower back protocol, when I learned that from Donnie, I was like shocked. It was like really cool to see people like, wow, man, people are hanging upside down. It's basically the TETA system, inversion boots. Way back when I was a kid, people would hang around upside down. So, but with the band, with the low protocol with the bands, you're not only using gravity, you're using your body weight, gravity, plus the band poundage pressure that's pulling you upward. So now you have all that band pressure pulling you upward, and gravity and your body weight trying to pull you down. So mostly everybody is lower back. It's all lower back. The NEFL, the EFL is a working guys league. These guys work all week. They're masons and they're carpenters and they're all of these things and mechanics. The AFL is the Eastern Football League, which is the oldest league on the East Coast. The AAA, like really high level, the highest level, I believe, of semi-pro football leagues on the East Coast. When they get to the game, sometimes they're a little tweaked up or they're tight or anything like that. And it's mostly low backs, hamstrings, calves, and Achilles. Because the Achilles is the thickest and the strongest tendon in your body. You can hang a truck from it. But the thing is that if you rupture one of them, it's trouble, you know. So we're trying to we take as much tension as we can off the calves and the Achilles so they can perform on the field the best to their ability. So for me, teaching them how to do it themselves, and I don't feel what they feel. So they can kind of hit what's going on, and I can walk them through it and stuff like that. I can't say enough about Peter Kane. He's a great guy. We sat, well, like I said, I contacted him. He's like, hey, let's meet for breakfast. We went and met for breakfast. I gave him all my stuff. He was like, I'll be in contact. Next thing you know it, boom, I got players contacting me that want to come and they want to try this out because they want to be the best on the field. It's a very, very good relate. We're always in contact. I'm always getting injury reports from him, seeing what's going on, see who's hurt, see who can't play, see who might, need a little bit of extra TLC, whether they're ankles and stuff like that. Because a lot of guys, they don't want to say that they're banged up. So Peter gets to see these things. So I get an injury report from him. Everybody's a non-believer till they get under the weight. And once they get under the weight, we got a convert. We got a believer.
Second and 10, ball on the 40-yard line.